And we are back here for our first qualifying match of the second half of the open stage. Yes, I believe that's how it goes. It is going to be once again a TvZ on our hands. Same Zerg player that we've been following so far in this half of the bracket, but a very, very different Terran player on our hands. Not quite a MiG, but a little bit of a bunny.
Let's get into it here. Again, our first qualifying match, our first of two, maybe even three, depending on how fast or slow our matches are. As we delve into game number one on Alcyone.
Indeed, we shall here in Alcyone. We're going to be spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right. We have our red Zerg player once again, representing Team Liquid all the way from the land of Poland. We have Elazer.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Bunny.
Waiting a long while for an opponent here, but finally, here we are. He has someone to face off against.
Here we go. He's been lying in wait again, Bunny. Just like Elazer, they both traveled off of their own dime here, paying out of their own pocket to fly over to Atlanta to be a part of Dreamhack Atlanta. And is it going to be worth it? Which one of these two players is going to advance on here into the knockout bracket? Who is it going to be? Again, we've had some pretty amazing stories in the past. If you remember, I think it was last year's Dreamhack Atlanta where Nightmare went on a tear and he just like tore through the knockout bracket and went for a deep run.
Yeah, it does happen quite a bit. Last year's Dreamhack Atlanta was also the event where Bunny beat Cyril 3-1 and made it all the way to the grand finals. Had a very, very close best of 7 against Hero, and unfortunately was not quite able to win that ace match. I think he got COVID that time as well.
He did.
No, that was Valencia.
That was Valencia. Did happen though. It did happen. I remember. I feel so bad for Buddy. He just wanted to go home.
Every time he goes to a foreign tournament, it goes really well for him until it doesn't.
Yeah. Take care, buddy. Take care. For now, though, we're easing our way into it again. Not our first ZVT of the night. This has a lot to live up to, though. Like, Migs, Vindicator versus Elazer was beautiful. It was just a beautiful series. It just went the distance, everything we wanted in late game. But we'll see if Elazer can make it to late game against Bunny, because Bunny is a much more aggressive player. Migs was embracing a longer game with, like, mass drop play. Bunny can go for drop play, don't get me wrong, but he can also be that much more committed in his pushes, so... yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Bunny to see how much more aggressive he's going to be.
Yeah, much like his name suggests, Bunny does like to kind of hop around everywhere around the map with his drops for a very long time. I want to say around 2017 to 2019-ish, when, drop play, I don't want to say necessarily fell out of favor, but, it became more of a thing that Terran players slipped into a best of series, right? Bunny, on the other hand, fully dedicated to drop play every single TvZ. He would have different variations, but he would go for multi-prong harasses over and over and over again.
Yeah, and we'll see how that aggression does continue, because Bunny, if you see what I see a 1-1-1. I do not see a third CC, so a very aggressive opener here from our Terran player is going to be going for that add-on swap as well. We have Hellions and Banshees on the way, and because of the delayed third base, Bunny needs to make this worth his while. This needs to trade well and get damage done.
I'm just waiting for that armory to get thrown down.
I mean, that's another possibility. Like, you could just double down here on the aggression and throw down an armory as well. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. I think we have seen Bunny do that in the past. Going into fast stim behind this as well.
Yeah, so the game's going to still continue after this initial opening, this initial harass from Bunny. Definitely planning to go bio, again, as the name suggests.
He's planning for that buy. Meanwhile, Elazer been able to defend so far. He's going to be saturating his bases. That is going to be 2 more Raxes. Still no third CC. You were joking about it before. Depending on how many Hellions we make, we could actually throw down an armory and go for a big committed 2-base push. Lings, they do come in for a scout. And Elazer, what does he see? He sees the researching tech lab. He also sees additional Raxes on the way.
Yeah. Elazer should be able to piece together exactly what's coming his way. We don't have an armor yet, but we have an eBay coming out from Bunny.
Yeah, for +1. That's 2 more Raxes. 2-base only.
Yep.
5 Raxes in total here. Very committed play from Bunny, doubling down. Bold move. You don't see this too often here in this matchup. 2-base all-ins are not very of the norm, but they do pop up every now and then. So we'll see if Elazer can hold on and survive against it. This Banshee getting a surprising amount done, but the Spore is done. The Spore is complete.
Yeah, there is now detection, and these queens are able to chase the Banshee back. Bunny playing a very delicate game right now, does not want to get in range of all of those queens with detection, with how badly bruised and beaten up his Banshee is.
Exactly. And so far, the Banshee does survive. Second Banshee has arrived as well. We're getting a 4th base up and running. So far, Elazer, he's joined up nicely. He's working on double Evo chambers and a Bailey Nest as well. So far, everything's okay as long as he doesn't throw down a Hydra Den. Hydra Den would be a bit of a, again, a red flag here. A big investment into something that he can't really make use of. He needs just pure Ling Bane, and he needs a solid economy as well. I don't think we want to join up more than 70.
Yeah, definitely not. That's going to be cutting into your army supply right now if you are Elazer, especially at this stage of the game where you can get by with 60 over drones. He really needs to prioritize defense over just about everything right now. Interestingly enough, Elazer hasn't been able to spread out his overlords on the map, hasn't really been able to scout with his Ling either, so he doesn't know that Bunny is still on 2 bases.
Yeah, and Elazer, he is droning up to 77. That's a bit much. So I'm getting a little bit concerned here, depending on how much more heavily he drones or how he techs up. And here we go. We're pulling the trigger here. Marines, tanks as well. We're going to be hitting a timing with stim, combat shields, and +1. Again, Bunny is completely all in with this. It's all or nothing for Bunny. He has to either kill his opponent or cripple Elazer enough for Bunny to transition and throw down the 3rd.
Indeed. Otherwise, he's just going to perpetually be behind, going to be consistently playing catch-up.
Exactly, and here we go. The tanks are going to be sieging on up. Lings are getting in position. Baileys are still not done either. Queens are falling.
They are not much of a buffer left for these Lings and for those Banelings. Pretty good spread here from Bunny, pulling back with his Marines, playing a very delicate dance once again. Baneling speed is about to finish up for Elazer, and once it is, these Marines are going to be super vulnerable. Great target firing, though, from Bunny. Just about every single Baneling goes down, and there's still plenty of Marines left over.
Yeah, and that's it. With the Banelings going down, there's nothing left to defend. Ling's going to be trickling on in, but these Hellions and Marines trade so well. GG gets called, and Bunny breaks Elazer.
Just like so. Very unfortunate lack of vision here from Elazer. Very unfortunate, lack of overlords around the map. Like you were mentioning, he droned up to 77 when that was the last thing he wanted to do. He really, really needed to prioritize more defenses, but yeah, he just didn't know that. He just doesn't know how committed Bunny was until he committed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You know, again, as we were pointing out, as you pointed out, Elazer, he didn't really have much map vision or map control. He wasn't able to really get eyes on things. Wasn't aware that there was no 3rd base behind it or anything like that. And yeah, with that, was caught off guard, was caught not really aware just that the all-in was coming.
Yeah, really no clue.
And with that, we're going to be getting into game number 2. And yeah, just a really unique style out of Bunny. I feel like I need to put a little bit more emphasis on the fact that 2-base all-ins in TvZ are not really common. Like, you don't really see them too often at all.
Yeah.
What I will say is that over the past month, like we've seen it rise up a little bit from some of the Korean Terrans, like Bunny, Ryung, Gumiho as well. Like they've been mixing it in every now and then in recent times.
Yeah. Definitely a really good way to shake things up in your best of series. Definitely a way to keep your opponents on their toes. And speaking of toes, here we are now on hard lead because, lead toes. Anyway, Here we are now on Heartland. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left. We have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Poland. He's, of course, going to be representing Team Liquid. We have Elazer.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Mystery Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Bunny.
Un Omaz coming out here from Bunny. One more map win, and he will have that peace of mind. He will be on to the next phase of the tournament, onto the knockout bracket.
Oh, exactly, and I'm a little bit concerned for Elazer. One, we're loading into hardlet again. Shortest rush distance, like very short rush distance by ground here on this map. We've seen a lot of all-ins already, typically from the side of the Zerg. We've seen that Bunny, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty here with his own all-ins. Now, I doubt we're going to see a two-base all-in again, just because he just did it, and Elazer's going to be that much more aware. But Elazer may just play scared just because of the map and just because of what just happened, and may, play inefficiently as a result as well.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be too surprised. Hecate, fairly large map, not a great map for all-ins typically, unless you are like Bunny, able to really keep it hidden for as long as possible. Just kind of get into the heads of your opponent. So, like you said, Elazer, we are playing now on a much shorter rush distance map. Elazer, that's got to still hang on the back of his head. He's got to still be thinking that, it's a possibility. If I'm not able to get my overlords in position, if I'm not able to scout what Bunny is doing, I have to play. I'd much rather be safe than sorry.
Oh, exactly, and we'll see if that's the case as the Reaper has arrived. Going to be forcing out a gas geyser as well. So Elazer being forced to delay his third base by a little bit here. So already a little win for Bunny as he does camp this location. Elazer is going to be committing here though, and Bunny, he's going to stick around. Are we going to force? Yeah, we do get on top of the drone. Oh, yeah.
Just like so. Drone will live, however.
Drone will live, but again, we just contain Elazer to two bases. This third is so incredibly late, and Bunny does not leave.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being a bully, Bunny.
Yeah. Meanwhile, across the map, the Lings, they get into the main base. A big scout, also a lot of lost mine time as well. We shouldn't really kill anything here, but that is a third CC. Bunny going to be switching into a very economic opener this time.
Yeah, that's got to at the very least be peace of mind here for Elazer. Knows he won't have to scramble to really gather his defenses this time. It's interesting how adamant Elazer really is on getting this particular third base location, though.
True. Like, this was very stubborn of Elazer to not try to expand elsewhere and not delay his third base. As a result, his third base is pretty heavily delayed here, but it is where he wants it to be, and that is the triangular third. And I wonder if that's because he wants to turn the tables on Bunny and be a little bit more aggressive with roaches. We'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case here, as Bunny himself did just reveal, as Elazer saw, going for something more economic.
And this could definitely be the opportunity, could really be the break that Elazer is looking for to try to really turn the tables, as he said, to take the aggression to Bunny if he so wanted to. These Marines were on a mission, and mission accomplished. They were able to take out that Overlord.
Yeah, they did take down the Overlord here. Nice pick off from Bunny, as he is going to be pulling back from there. Behind this is going to be 3cc into Banshee production, as a pretty standard opener here, pretty by the book. The Ling of Elazer, I believe, just saw that, by the way. Yes, we did see the researching tech lab, so Elazer's fully aware of what's going on and should be preparing back at home with his Spore Crawlers, with his Queens.
Yeah, just getting ready back on home. As Solaris on the way, as you pointed out. Banshee's got to be out pretty soon. Elazer taking this very, very seriously. Again, doesn't want to get caught with his pants down twice, so he is throwing out the Spore Crawlers left and right. Very big bio commitment from Bunny once again.
Yeah, Stim is on the way. We do have Cloak as well. Bunny is going to be rotating between the bases. Gets eyes on the fourth. Won't be able to deny it, but he wants that Queen, and then we have a Clutch Transfuse keeping the Queen alive.
Yeah. Things could have gone south pretty quickly here for Elazer, but thankfully we did have to clutch transfuse.
Yeah, fourth base has been taken, it has been spotted. Meanwhile, there it is, Roach Warren is on the way for a laser, but this is also looking similar to the previous game. This Roach Warren is not really early, we're not rushing into it. And if you remember, I say previous game, previous series, Elazer versus Vindicta on this map, Elazer also went for a Roach Warren into double Eva chambers into +1 melee, not range. Up.
Yeah, those roaches were really just a way to keep him alive and keep him safe until he could get to his ultras. Decent trades against these Lings from Bunny, but in the end, the Hellions were backed into a corner. Detection not here yet. Detection not here yet.
Yeah, the queens, they can't transfuse. A second queen goes down. Very nice pickles here by Bunny. As we saw, his Hellions were trapped. They were shut down. So nicely done by Elazer to at least shut down the Hellions, but did lose 2 queens in the process. As Bunny behind this is building up his army here, getting into his 5-rack saturation or 5-rack setup here on 3 bases. Again, a pretty normal setup here for the time being. We'll keep an eye on Bunny to see if he takes these gases. I'm curious if he is willing to go for something like an 8-racks here on hard lead.
Yeah, not a bad map for it. Just going 8 racks and trying to max out as quickly as possible to really just try to brick your Zerg opponent. Hot lead. I feel like we mentioned it a lot, but it's because it's very important to remember. Hard lead has a very short rush distance, and it has some very congested pathways. It really does lead itself really well into parade pushes and whatnot.
And we can see that Elazer is going for just a safety Roach Warren, is investing into melee once again, not range, and there's the infestation bit. So this is the exact same playstyle we saw from Elazer against Vindicta also on this map, where it is more defensive than anything, just to shut down any kind of drop play, any kind of multi-pronged harassment, and survive until he gets his hive, until, as you called, until like ultra production or just hive tech in general.
Yeah, we'll see what he opts for this time. As the safety roaches are doing their job, just chasing Bunny back. Bunny, player who is fond of his 1-1 timings, and this time, not quite gonna get much done with them. Not yet, anyway, with all those roaches.
Yeah. We do have 3 more Raxes on the way, so it is going to be 8 Raxes in total. But we're also taking our gases here at the 3rd, so I'm still not entirely convinced if this is going to be a 3-base all-in or not. We'll see if he does throw it on a 4th or if he commits to the all-in.
Yeah, we shall see. Bunny going to be able to dodge most of those corrosive vials. Stims on forward. He does have the upgrade advantage, so he is trading pretty dang well against these roaches and these Ravagers. No Widow Mines and no techs to really support this, so Bunny is forced back when confronted with these Banelings, but Pickling Speed's not done yet. Beautiful target firing and beautiful snipes coming down from these Marines. He has lost a little bit of momentum with this, isn't quite able to keep the push going, but those are some sick trades.
Yeah, very nice trades here from Bunny. Meanwhile, 2-2s on the way behind this. We have our 8-rack setup here with add-ons as well. I still don't see a second factory. I still don't see a 4th CC. So we are going for a 3-base all-in from Bunny, and you can see how little time it takes to move from one side of the map to the other. We do have this base under fire. We're pushing towards that center base as well.
Yeah, Bunny doing what Bunny does best and going for these multi-prong attacks. A little bit late to siege, and Bunny's attention was elsewhere. These Banelings get some very juicy connections on the Marines. Still plenty of bio left over, but again, Bunny has lost that momentum. We'll see if he's able to reinforce this quick enough.
Yeah, he took some massive Banelings to the face there. Bunny losing momentum, losing a lot of his army as a result, and you can see Elazer soon to be maxing out. Elazer, he has survived the attack. He has a better economy. He's on 88 workers. Bunny cutting SCVs here at 66. Like, again, this is a 3-base all-in out of the Terran player. He is looking to snowball out of control, not make any more workers, not take another base. But he's been stifled, you know, he's taking a bit too long.
Yeah, you want to get that snowball rolling as early as possible. You want it to turn to an avalanche. If it gets stopped halfway through, you pretty much have to start over, and your opponent's going to be in a much, much better position. We can see Elazer, his Ultra Cavern, already halfway done.
Yeah, it's halfway done at this point. Vipers are on the way. Hive, of course, is done as well with all those upgrades, and the pressure is on Bunny. Time is working against him right now. He's going to try to engage. We are fighting off of creep, which is not ideal for the Zerg player, but Elazer, he just has so much.
He absolutely does. Pretty good trades on the Banelings, on the Lings once again, but it is not quite enough here for Bunny.
Yeah, it is not enough. Not yet. You can see that Bunny, he's closing the gap when it comes to army supply. But again, we need to make something happen here and now. 2-2 just finishing up for the Terran player. 2-2 about to finish up for the Zerg as well. So the upgrades will soon be evening up here. And until that happens, Bunny still just trying to force the issue. That's a lot of Banelings in production.
Yeah, and that's a lot of Marines bunched together.
Exactly. Biles are going to be connecting here on a medevac. Not on too many Marines, though. We have additional Liberators on the horizon. Banelings have finished up. Viper has arrived. Blinding Clouds has a lot of potential here. Oh.
Yeah. Once the Viper gathers enough energy.
Exactly. So we have a big link counterattack, pulling back the army, buying more time here, and again, Bunny still refuses to make any more SCVs. Once he starts mining out of his main base, he can lift it up and take it as a fourth. That is still a possibility here for Bunny, but again, he's still so committed. He has maxed out a super maxed army. Both players are at 200 supply, but Bunny significantly more army supply.
Indeed. A little bit of a mid-game army, but to be fair, so is Elazer's army for the time being. Not the best connections with those Banelings, and this allows Bunny to gain a little bit of an edge to start pushing forward. Doesn't have a lot of tanks, though.
Doesn't have too many tanks, but again, a really good fight here for Bunny, cleaning up a lot of the Lings, a lot of those Banelings as well. We are running out of steam. Elazer, he has to be careful.
Yeah, he really, really does. These Corrosive Vials are providing him a lot of support, going to be buying him a lot of time as Bunny has to retreat from them over and over and over again. But now the Ultralists are about to pop.
Yeah, that's what Bailey's Day crashing on board here. A much better fight this time for Elazer. Cleans up one of those tanks. Did cost him quite a lot. The base did go down and the final tank falls.
Yeah, Banelings are gone, but now we have a bigger problem on our hands for Bunny.
Yeah, the Ultra has arrived. Elazer survived long enough to get into Hive Tech. He is forcing this all the way back. At the same time, we have a little bit of harassment going on. We have this one Banshee, but the last one Banshee is not going to be good enough. And Elazer, he's doing it. He's surviving. He's holding.
Yeah, he survived the worst of it, and now all he needs to do is, you know, not take too many inefficient trades. Just make sure that he's fighting where he needs to fight.
Yeah, you can see that Bunny's running out of steam. He scans, he sees a full mining base here. He's now aware just how behind he is economically. This one Banshee going to be moving on over, has a lot of work to do, but again, Elazer, he has weathered the storm. And there's no other way about this for Bunny. Like, there's no 3-3, there's no economy, there's nothing else here to really, there's no other way forward here other than just doubling down on making this army.
Yeah, there's no other options available for him right now. Has a surprising amount of gas, but doesn't really have the minerals to make use of them, it.
Yeah, he's been just making a lot of Marines here, burning through his minerals, and here we go. The Ultras have arrived. Big blinding cloud on top of the tanks as well. Tanks are going to be falling. Biles as well connect with the Liberators, and it looks like Elazer should be able to break through. He breaks through the defensive line, breaks through all the siege line even, and only Marines are left. Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, only Marines, only Marauders. Not quite enough for Elazer to really push on through, but here we go. Writing was on the wall. GG is called. Elazer gonna be tying us up sideways 1-1 in a best-of-3 qualifying match.
GG, well played. Again, Bunny completely all in on 3 bases, as we did call, going for the 8 racks. And he was doing well initially, but if you remember, that was that I think it was the second fight where he was pushing through the center and took some massive bailings to the face. And when you're all in like this, like, every unit counts so much, and like there's so much pressure to like have these perfect engagements, and a blunder like that is typically not, you can't get away with that.
Absolutely. Really good of Elazer to kind of send a little annoying force of Zerglings to just kind of harass Bunny, take his attention away, and because of that, like you said, he was able to crash his Banelings into those Marines, and that was really the tipping point. That was when Bunny couldn't really recover anymore. He put himself on a bit of a timer. He was playing on a bit of a knife's edge, and fortunately, one slip up caused him to get cut.
Exactly, and I don't fault Bunny for going for an 8 racks. Like this is like it can be quite powerful on hard lead, definitely. But again, as we saw, like your engagements, they need to be on point. You need to be able to fight and trade incredibly well with it. Otherwise, it can be shut down. And yeah, really good performance here out of a Zerg player. And now we have the ace match. We have game 3.
Yeah, which is how it really should be for a qualifying match. Anyway, we're going to be concluding this series here on Hecate. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left. We have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Poland, wishing GL to his opponent, and representing Team Liquid, we have Elazer.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player representing Mystery Gaming, being forced into the ace match. It is Bunny.
I never noticed the R in the logo of Mystery Gaming.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, but it's also an I.
it is. Because it's a mystery. And a G? Yeah, there's a G there as well.
It's a G.
And an A? Can
And
you just like
what does
spell
it spell out?
Can you spell Mystery Gaming with this? Is that
Wait,
possible?
so G R A, and there's also the I, but I'm not sure if it's I like the letter or I like spelled out EYE. So it's like Gary.
Is there an M there? Can you see an M in there?
I can see
Kinda?
an arrow. I feel like if the logo was larger, the arrow would extend into an M, but because we had to crop it down for scale, we don't have the M anymore.
Possible. Definitely possible. That's the mystery of the logo.
It is.
But now the question
triangle.
becomes, what do we hear? What kind of aggression do we get out of Bunny this time? So game 1, it was a 2-base all-in. Game 3 was a 3-base all-in. Sorry, game 2 was a 3-base all-in. Here in game 3, what do we go for? Oh my god, we're going for a second Rax.
Indeed, we are, and a third Rax behind it.
This is looking like a 4-axe setup here from Bunny. We should be seeing a 4-axe momentarily. This is a really interesting variation of it, though. So usually whenever we see a 4-axe, and I'm making the assumption, but we'll see if we throw down a fourth one. Usually when we see at least 4-axe, it's based off the Beyond 2-axe opener, where you go for Double Reaper to gain map control first, and then you go into your second and third racks behind it. So yeah, this is very bold of Bunny to try to rush into it in such a fashion.
Yeah, very much is, as it is just going to be 3 Raxes for the time being. Very important for Elazer to be able to scout this with the Overlord. He is keeping it back home for the time being, or not back home, but behind the bases for the time being.
Yeah, Bunny's looking for it, by the way. He's looking for that Overlord. He wants to try to shut it down here to keep this build hidden. So if this is going to be a 3-axe instead, again, we have seen this from Björn as well. This is not the most committed. This is not all in. There are all-in variations where you pull the boys with this. Otherwise, we should be moving out across the map, forcing a reaction, trading with queens, and then we can take a third base behind this. So I'm not entirely certain which variation Bunny's going to be going for.
Yeah, we're about to find out, as upgrades are on the way.
They are on the way. Now, when it comes to the push of Bunny, these Marines are going to be very fragile, and we only have like 1, maybe 2 stims in this. Remember, we're going to be pushing without factories, without a starport, without medevacs to sustain ourselves, so every stim does count, as we are still not throwing down a third CC.
Not at all. Factory going to be coming out first, so looks like Bunny does want to transition out of this after it hits.
Oh,
but to what end, we shall see. Elazer will dip in, will confirm that that is a very late factory, will confirm the 3 Araxes as well. So Bunny, he's going.
Yep, there we go. He has to pull the trigger. Meanwhile, Elazer, he's cutting workers. We have spine crawlers on the way. A big reaction here from Elazer going for a spine crawler at his third base. The spine crawler here at his natural. Lings are amassing with Ling Queen. We should have enough to defend. We'll see how many Lings Elazer can amass in time.
Indeed, we shall. That combat shield will help a little bit for Bunny. Will give him potentially one more stim in the chamber.
Yeah, Stim is now done. Now, he doesn't have to dive in. He could try to pull back and try to reinforce here with his factory-based units. We do see the army here. He sees the spine crawler as well. He sees the defensive position. I think it would be wise if Bunny didn't dive, but we'll see how he approaches this. He goes for it.
Very patient play, but like you said, he does in fact go for it. Will scan. Will confirm that the Lings are coming in from behind. Bunny trying to start a step as best he can, trying to get out of here. Oh, and it's all said and done. He gets a queen, he gets a spine crawler, and now he's trying to work on a third base transition.
A very late third base here from Bunny. Yeah, exactly. We often off of 3x we see a third base before the factory in Starport. Because it's after the factory in Starport, this is still very committed from Bunny. Very committed. A late economic transition, and he needs to get something done here with his drop play now.
Yeah, but if there's one thing Bunny is good at, it is drop play. It is his dedication to multi-prong harass. 2 medevacs now on the way, and that's just gonna open up Bunny to have a lot of options and potential when it comes to harassing on the map.
Exactly, and here we go. Bunny is going to be pushing out. The move out, I think, barely is spotted by that Ling. Elazer, he rotates over. Very crucial scout there from Elazer. He's aware of the position he should be. As there we go, the army's going to be rotating over. A lot of DPS here in these Marines. Can he deny the base?
Well, he's going to try. There's a lot of DPS on these Marines, but they are also extremely fragile. They weren't quite able to be healed up completely from earlier on, but he's just going for the base. Will force a cancel in the end. And will be chased back here. Yeah, Medevac's taking a little bit of a bruising, but still healthy enough to go back home.
Yeah, they will make it out of there. Behind this Bunny, now taking his third base. He was able to force the cancel, which is impactful, don't get me wrong. But there's still a lot of pressure on Bunny to keep on going here as he's down in those workers, just now taking his third base. Elazer double expanding. He already has a fourth. That was a fifth. That was a would-be fifth. So we'll see if Bunny can try to slow Elazer down even further.
Yeah, as Bunny tries to meet with the rest of his army, tries to consolidate his forces and go for a little bit of a timing push here with tanks, but it has been scouted by Elazer. Once again, just rotating his forces around. No banelings just yet for Elazer though, so this still has a lot of potential. This is still a sizable number of Marines, and 2 tanks can really do a lot to zone away the Zerg army.
Well, they really can, but at the same time, a big link counterattack denying some of the mining here at the third base, and Elazer, he's just amassing his army, ready to dive on top of this force here, on top of these 2 tanks. Has to be careful, has to try to get a better engage here. That's a lot of queens. They do tank a lot of those tank shots, but some of them are going to be going down.
Yeah, transfuse energy has just about been used up. And it looks like it is going to be enough for Elazer to push this back. Baneling speed just finished up as well. So Elazer's going to have a little bit of an easier time defending with Banes.
There we go. He cleans up the tank, doesn't waste his Banelings either. Bunny is being forced back. He is saturating his third base now, but Elazer has map control. 1-1 going to be kicking in, 2-2 on the horizon. Elazer is in the driver's seat.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He's going to get his 5 bases up and running, and he's already got his 5th base.
He does, but he's going to be pushing on forward. Elazer going to be cutting workers here at 63. He's actually doubling down quite a lot here when it comes to the aggression.
Yeah, 2 more hatcheries are on the way, and they're not being taken as bases. This is an interesting choice from Elazer to just double down on that aggression, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. But there we go. Drone's now on the way. Hydra as well. Looks like Elazer, he's going to be transitioning into Ling Bane Hydra instead. The Bane is going to be rolling on it. How good is the target firing? Oh, God.
Decently good, but not going to be good enough to really take out that many Banelings with Ling support. So Bunny just picks up, hot picks up, and backs away. I love this with the medevacs. He's just trying to draw attention away, and it is doing so much. Look at all these Lings. Chicks know empty medevacs.
It's keeping Elazer's supply pinned up for no real good reason here. We do have a couple of borrowed Banelings behind this, so we do have to be careful. Bunny, he is not aware yet. He's going to be pushing him forward, looking to reinforce, but again, there's a lot of potential here in these Banelings. Up!
The Marines are not quite in position. Now they are. Going to be getting in there. decent chunk of Marines going down to those burrowed banelings, but there's still plenty more where that came from Bunny. Bunny far ahead when it comes to the army supply.
He is ahead in that army supply. He has a lot of tanks. It's a very committed push here from Bunny. We'll see if he can pull this off. Elazer, he gives up on the hatchery. He knows he has to retreat for the time being and max out himself before engaging. Actually going for a big Ling counterattack here towards the third, but we have reinforcements.
Yeah, already hanging back and going to be able to catch these Lings. And once these Lings go down, you know, Bunny's going to be feeling pretty confident just to send the rest of his reinforcements forward just to get back on the front line. 30 Lings are on the way right now for Elazer. He needed those a while ago.
Yeah, exactly. He has to be very careful with how he engages just because of the tank line, Liberators as well. Bunny, he's pushing forward, going to be threatening that natural base soon. At the same time, double drop towards the north here. He wants to try to pull Elazer apart. Elazer does have some supply though in the area, and he's looking for a surround.
Yeah, he's setting it up just like so. Should be able to get it, potentially.
Yeah,
these medevacs aren't fooling anyone anymore.
they're fooling Elazer though, as he does react with his queens.
He does, surprisingly, and this gives Bunny enough time to really entrench himself right outside the natural base. Once again, just encroaching deeper and deeper into Elazer's territory.
Yeah, he is going to be threatening these Evo chambers here. One of them so close to going down. Tanks within range as well to the gas geyser as well. And Elazer is going to have to try to break free without Vipers. Bleeding out a lot of Marines once again.
Yeah, it's a really difficult position right now for the Zerg player. Elazer is hoping to get us around, but yeah, he's setting it up. But we'll see if it works. To get that surround, he has to sacrifice that northern base. It is very vulnerable. Banelings will start crashing into Marines. But he still has a lot of bio left over here, but the tanks have gone down.
Yeah, he gets cleaned up completely here. The tanks go down, the Liberators as well. At the same time, we do have that double drop, but it looks like Elazer, he was in position, did lose 4 drones, but only 4 workers. Elazer, he defends on both fronts.
Yeah, once again, pretty good target firing from Bunny, but Elazer has weathered the storm. The worst of it is now over. Bunny, once again, only now finishing up that 4th base, hasn't really been able to drone up, get a healthy work account. Bunny still has a pretty potent army, but the longer this goes on, once again, the better it's going to be for Elazer.
What also is brutal is that Bunny only just started 2-2. Like, 2-2 was not on the way at all here, so he's down a set of upgrades. Could be down even more here if we start up 3-3. The Bio Army does come back, though. Does come back with a vengeance here at the National Base, but the Hydras, they have arrived, and we are forcing back the Marines.
Just like so. Yeah, I didn't even notice how behind Bunny was when it came to the upgrades. Imagine if that surround happened when Bunny still had a couple of Marines left over. Imagine that surround happened when they were actually even, both of them on 2-2.
Yeah, that would have made the world of difference here. Meanwhile, we still have those borrowed banelings. Other scan will reveal them though, so Bunny, he is aware. There we go. Elazer has to reposition. At the same time though, this third base looking very exposed. We're going for the mineral line. We're going for at least all these depots.
Yeah, this time, not that many reinforcements to really back things up. Banelings will connect on a couple of Marines. And Elazer finds himself comfy in the driver's seat with those burrow banes.
Oh my god, Elazer, he's in love with them. GG gets caught as Elazer. He does collapse on the final position of Bunny, and Elazer will make it through the open stage into the knockout bracket.
Very nicely done here from Elazer. Feels like as the series continued, Elazer was able to kind of pick up on Bunny's plans and Bunny's strategies, and more importantly, was able to shore up his own, was able to tighten things up with himself, not make the same mistakes we saw in game number 1, playing a little bit, taking things a little bit for granted on the map, not really utilizing, not really getting any vision. But game 2 and game 3, very vigilant with scouting.
Very vigilant indeed here. And yeah, Elazer, he was able to really shore up his defenses. Meanwhile, from Bunny, hyper aggression, right? Very aggressive throughout this entire series. Game 1, game 2, and game 3, very all in every single game as well. Different forms and different variations of all in, but yeah, Bunny just succeeding initially with it, but yeah, it did end up
Yeah,
faltering and petering out towards the end there in this series. And yeah, just didn't want to give a standard game, a macro game to Elazer. Just yeah, wasn't really
yeah,
interested in that.
yeah. For whatever reason.
For better or for worse. But with that, Laser, he will advance on through the knockout bracket. Bunny is knocked down to the lower bracket where he is going to be waiting for his next opponents because we have quite a number of mirror matchups upon us.
Yep. It is either going to be a TvT or a TvP here for Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. We have Trigger versus Shutdown currently mid-series. We have Ryung versus Vindicta going on as well. So, yeah, we still have quite a lot of matches ahead of us here. It's possible that maybe we didn't have any updates, and maybe the lower bracket semifinals is underway. But yeah, we're still a little bit in the dark.
Yeah, it was the case earlier on where we thought we were going to have to wait a little while for a lower bracket finals opponent, but then out of nowhere, Shin comes up and says, "Yo, I beat everyone." And then we had our opponent.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to be going on a short break here. Going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our next series. Not too sure what, but we're basically just waiting for the lower bracket of Group C or Bracket C to catch up.
Indeed, we shall. We'll see you then.